The breaking news, everyday news on Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Today is the 19th of July at 2022. And so guys, recently there's been a back and forth between non-governmental organization NGOs and the government. And I remember what in a new bill, controversial bill called Private Voluntary Organization Amendment Bill, which is not favorable and NGOs because remember ilikuwa blame of interfering panya the politics up, and they are saying that these guys, they want a regime change in Zimbabwe. And so President Emmerson Mnangagwa has declared war on non-governmental organization NGOs, accusing them of being appendages of foreign powers and diplomats seeking to effect regime change. In his weekly column in the Sunday Mail, Mnangagwa attacked civil society organization while giving credence to crafting of the controversial Private Voluntary Organizations Amendment Bill currently in the committee reading stage in Parliament. The bill has been described by human rights activists as a ploy to close democratic space in the country ahead of the 2023 general elections. Some of its provisions give the Public Service and Social Welfare Minister powers to meddle in operations of NGOs as well as to register or deregister them. In his comment, Mnangagwa accused foreign diplomats accredited to Zimbabwe of clandestinely meeting individuals and interest groups without clearance from the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Harare has walked the limelight for wrong reasons following the arrest and detention of political activists and heavy-handedness of the security sector on protesters promising the country to be discussed at the United Nations Human Rights Council and the United Kingdom's Parliament. But Mnangagwa accuses Western countries of settling up political NGOs to influence election results in Zimbabwe. Over the years, a number of sending states have set up political NGOs in Zimbabwe, which abuse the notion of rights advocacy to work for political outcomes, which those sponsoring states prefer. Needlessly to say, this is a gross interference in our affairs using proxies established especially to skew our politics towards goals and interests of some sending states, he said. What raised our alarm is how the same NGOs are used, especially during election periods, as conduits of foreign funding to preferred political parties. Such NGOs thus become landromats for washing such dirty and landed foreign money. No state list of those offered states can never tolerate such illegalities. One piece of legislation which has drawn the unlawful movement of such meddlesome missions is the PVO's bill, which is under debate in our parliament. The bill seeks to certain operations of NGOs whose mission must, at the very least, respect our sovereignty and national interest. The PVO's bill will become law once it goes through all the stages of our law-making process. It is our law. All missions accredited here are required to respect the law, as they should the rest of our laws, he added. Crisis in Zimbabwe Coalition Director Blessing Wawa said Mnangagwa was using the PVO's amendment bill as a scapegoat to close the democratic space in the country. What Mnangagwa is doing shows that he is not informed and is out of touch with reality, and the development agencies, what he says want to effect regime change, are the ones that are contributing to support development of this country. Zimbabwe's health budget is supported by that. We will continue to hold them accountable, Bava said. Mnangagwa talks of regime change as if it is a crime. In fact, it is not a crime to seek regime change. Voters can choose to effect regime change through a ballot. He is trying to close the democratic space. In a statement, Zimbabwe Peace Project, when it's saying, from the statements that President Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF officials are issuing, it is becoming clear that the PVO's amendment bill is not about dealing with financial misappropriation, but rather closing down civil society organization and shutting down democratic space. Political analyst Gibson Nikadzino said the PVO's amendment bill was necessary because in other countries unknown sources of funding have been used for terrorism and illegal revolutions. I think the president is clear. There's no way he can allow the flow of money from unknown sources to come into the country without any form of regulations and accountability. If NGOs are transparent, why are they afraid? They dynamics across the world is that when small groups want to take power, they use unknown sources of funds. They don't want to declare. The government is saying, if you don't have anything to hide, just show us your source of income, he said. There is talk that the government wants to close the civic space. It's not true. A lot of money being channeled in the country through the National Endowment for Democracy, which is also known as CIA2, which has caused a lot of havoc across the globe, he added. And so that's the PVO, which is the Private Voluntary Organization Amendment Bill, and which is currently in the committee reading stage in Parliament. And so soon it will be law, and my NGOs, nema civil society organizations avasitomboda izvozvo, and vatoti aiwa, it is trying by all means to close the space. At the same time, it is blaming them of sponsoring the opposition political parties, and is mari dzinenge dzichingobva from nowhere dzinozorekeranza muZimbabwe through those NGOs, because hapana vanhu vanovamonitor, and saka ivo vanenge vachiti zvoni isusu tiri nani governmental this or that, but in other words, some of them vanenge vachitosponsor opposition political parties. This is what ED is saying. That is why they are now drafting that law, which is a Private Voluntary Organization Amendment Bill, and this will also give the powers the government to suspend or to fire or to deregister some of the NGOs vanenge vasinga comply with the regulations anenge aiswa nehurumende. And so munozona sei, ngatitaure in the comment section. Remember, some of these NGOs have been helping the country since way back, and even ngore renzara iya muna 2008 vakauya nechibage nemabhauga, all those kind of things kumamisha madhorobha vachipa vanhu vachita sei. I mean, they do help, they really do help, but they're saying that some of them they're actually sponsored by the West. So we're gonna see how this will play out, but we're gonna keep you in the loop here on Prince Mila Entertainment TV, on daily news, breaking news, everyday news on Prince Mila Entertainment TV. Got in the comment section. Some are saying this is a right bill, other people are saying no, ED is trying by all means to close the democratic space. Wakuda space yawe kushanda, and remember vana vachipa avape kubhozo ndeve triple C kandi ndeve ZANU-PF vanopa munhu wese, and vanototaura kutoti panapa tauya kuzokupai chibage ichi hachinei negovernment, hachinei nemusangano, tikukupai mese, and yes, munhu wese ari kuona chibage ichi. Saka basa ravo ndirongobatsirawo pamwe pekuti hurumende inenge ichitadza kubatsira. And you'll be shocked to hear some of the figures avanoshandisa per year in Zimbabwe, even those countries vana UK, America, na France, they spend millions of US dollars would try by all means to help munzvimbo dzakasiyana-siyana, panyaya dzechikafu, panyaya dzehealth, panyaya dzakasiyana-siyana, and yes, saka vanobatsira zvavo, but hurumende havasi kutora izvozvo vakutoti aiwa vanhu ava vane simba rakawanda sterek. That's why there's this new bill, controversial bill, which is a Private Voluntary Organization Amendment Bill. And so we're gonna keep you in the loop, guys. Pakatike any new info. This is our daily news, breaking news, everyday news on Prince Mila Entertainment TV. Thank you for listening and watching.